Okay, we're gonna start in a couple minutes. I'm just gonna share my post and my podcast in other groups, and then we're gonna start. Make sure to make the microphone as well. There we go. I think it's a little bit slower. The internet's a little bit slower as well. It's a little bit off too. Baby, can you do me one favor? Can, can you turn on those lights? There we go. There we go. Much better. All right. Let me see. Oh man. Interesting enough, the internet's kind of slow right now. Let's see which one do we have? Yeah, good one here. Okay. Give me a second, baby. The lights are
What?
the lights are acting funky. That's much better. Oh, it doesn't bother much. All right. Much better. All right, folks. So we're gonna start today's podcast. Let me see what's going on here, man. This video, see, it's kind of acting funky around here. Damn, what's going on here? Facebook's just giving me a lot of problem right now. Gonna use another one. Let's start another one. Let this one in this section. We're gonna start in a couple minutes. Thank you for your patience. Today's episode is gonna be very interesting. So hopefully we can just get some content.
What are you talking
See, it's acting very funky. See, somehow my face was just going crazy. Good. Do this. Go live. Whew. Okay. Go live. Like this. Use the camera. Where to go. Hopefully it's not our problem. Boom. Good. All right, folks. And the meanwhile, since Facebook's giving me a little bit of problem right now, so I'm gonna try to do my best and just start this podcast. Yeah, good, good. So far, so good. Yeah, because it seems since Facebook already changed all their, how can I say, their the new page, so things a little bit different. I'm not used to it yet, and okay, I put it right here. Then the camera, it's acting, everything's acting funky right now. What's going on? So my CPU is acting funky too. See, everything's acting funky. This is a funky day. trying to share it, but all of a sudden it just sending me back. There you go. See, share and just throwing me back, 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 back all the time. That's fine. Let's keep it simple. All right, folks. So today's podcast is going to be very interesting. It's going to be one of my articles I wrote a couple months ago, but I think it's very important. Actually, a month ago, and it's about improvement, the 1%, all that stuff, and we're gonna get it into it very quick. But before that, my name is Pablo. I'm the host of the PA Alpha Music Podcast. Hopefully, you guys are already following. You can go to anchor.fm.com and you can just go to PA Alpha Music Podcast. Also, you can go to my palphamusic.com. You can just follow my blog and my articles regarding music development, music tips as a composer, tips to get better as a human being, all that good stuff. Now, the way you can just listen to my podcast as well is that you can go to the Google Radio, all those radio distribution platform. You can just find us in even Apple Music. So hopefully you guys can go there and just listen to the podcast and just support us with a one like or one share. You make the podcast better. That's all we just asking here. We're not asking for any money, nothing, just a simple thing, right? And that way people just can receive the message, right? And they can identify with the same. All right. So today's title of the podcast is 10 ways to improve 1% at a time. Okay, so I just wrote this article a couple weeks ago, a month, January the 2nd. This is, like 2 or 3 months ago. Great article. And I just give 10 tips on how you can improve yourself. And I hopefully can share this with you guys. And you guys have any questions, just make sure you just type on the comment section. And hopefully we can help you out. We can, if I have time, I can just answer any questions you guys may have. All right. So further ado, let's start. Okay, so 10 ways to improve 1% at a time. Okay. So basically, since I've been just really going through the self-development road, and I just noticed that I really, you know, found some tips, and some tricks to really just improve in your gain of your self-will, right? So basically, I just have like a small compilation of um how me myself managed to just go through a lot of things, right, in very small tasks, right? So I'm gonna give you the first one. The first one is very easy. Be patient with yourself. Yeah. So patient, of course, is a virtue. It's a virtue for success. Took time to grow. The progress of becoming a better person takes time, and it's a slow marathon. New habits are going to replace the old ones. However, it's difficult to break unhealthy ones. Remember, it takes between 28 days to form new habits and or add to change a new one, right? And then it becomes 3 months or 90 days to just become a lifestyle. So when you're going to this through this, you have to be patient. You're going to notice that the first days is going to be very hard, and not only hard, but it's going to require a little bit of will to just make those changes. Even simple tasks of brushing. If you only brush your teeth one time, once in a day, even trying to just brush it before you go to bed is going to be a hard task. Even sometimes it just feel good and okay in the beginning, but as soon as you go to the third, fourth, or fifth day, that's when things get a little bit tricky because your mind is not programmed for that. So now you're developing a new muscle to just give some space for that new skill or new routine, right? Now the next one is read. Yes, read. You have to read. You don't know it all. Okay, reading is a chicken noodle soup for the human soul. Reading is a simple, but yet a lot of people struggle to make reading a daily thing. Yes, we can all agree some books are just plain boring, but once you find your niche on genre, it appeals to you. I promise you, you would not want to put the book down until you finish it. This is true. I have in my book, I already finished 50 or 55 books in less than a year, and I feel very good. It's something I noticed uh, during the time that I've been doing this for the last years, a couple of years, is now I can read between 50 to 80 pages straight with no problem. But before I couldn't even go to the first two or three pages. So again, it's still a muscle that you have to develop. Okay, but the only way you can get through your soul is by reading. You have to read. Okay, if you have not read in years, here are a few things you will experience due to lack of reading: lack of focus when you read, short attention span, not comprehending basic punctuation, so grammar, adjective, run sentences, all that stuff. So when you start reading, you will notice that if you already don't have this in a daily routine, that you're going to start reading sentences, but you're not going to comprehend what are those sentence means, or what are the meanings of the paragraph inside the context. So your reading comprehensions is going to be exposed. Of course, your ego is going to be struck a little bit, because you will be saying to yourself, like, I read every day, I go to social media, so I'm reading all that time. But in reality, you're not putting a lot of focus to a lot of ideas. All right, reading one two sentences when you go scroll down to social media doesn't count. You're not putting a lot of focus. You're not putting analysis into it. You're not working into imagination. Most of the time when you have that post, you already have an image. An image, they already have a story behind it, or a click to a video, so it makes it easy for you. Okay, so these are things that you have to really, really, really pay attention to. Unable to create and characterize creativity. So it takes time, again, and passion to pick up a book and focus. But I promise you, once you do, you will be a genius. Reading is key when expanding the mind. Okay, so think about that. Now, another one that I do, and for me, I love it. I love it. It's journaling. Journaling it helps me a lot, not only with my grammar, but the way I express myself to others. All right, it gives me time to organize my ideas, and knows when do I need to finish a sentence. Okay, and because English is not my first language and my second language, it really pushed me to just get better in the language, and I love it. It's always a challenge. It's always to sit down and try to put a concrete analysis of my thoughts, and I love it. Writing in a journal is the greatest thing you can do to know more about yourself. I started journaling in 2013 as a way to express myself self and spark creativity. Since then, my creative side has developed in such a tremendous way that my thoughts are a lot clearer, as well as understanding my emotions. By writing, strength your mindset in ways you can imagine. Writing is a beautiful way to get to know yourself. If ever you find yourself stressed or sparking new ideas, I highly recommend to write it down. By writing down ideas, emotions, your brain tends to retain the information more often. I could go all day listing the benefits of writing, but I would rather you see it for yourself. Try to writing for 28 days, even for 5 minutes a day, and you will see a such change. I love that one. Um, Shout out to Perfecto. Perfecto, one of my nice neighborhood friends when I was a kid. Great guy. I love it. Now, next one. Listen to motivational material. Yes, listen to motivational material. This is important. Your state of mind is determined during the first 30 minutes of your day. Why not control your day? Listen to motivational speaker or anything that will help expand your that smart mind of yours. Get yourself in the correct space. I highly recommend the following motivation speakers, which I already mentioned a lot in this podcast. And I do this every morning. You can tell my girl, I do it every morning, right? So I never felt so moved to just get up and each day and keep but, right? So these are the motivation speaker that I listened. Zig Ziglar, Les Brown, Tony Robbins, John Ron, Alan Watts, Eric Thomas, and there's a bunch of them. There's always new ones, right? Make sure you create that as a routine in every morning. That way you can just determine and control your set of mind every time you get up in the morning. Soak of the words every day and live through the message. Just think, these people are just like you and me. If these people can become so successful, why you can't? Why can't you? As Nike says, just do it. Apply these tools and you will be unstoppable. Okay? Keep it as a routine. The next one, have role models. And I think in a couple of podcasts that I did, I don't remember which episode was. I already spoke about this, about just having role models, even in the videos on anything. It doesn't have to be present, but even though you're still in your house and it's very hard for you to just socialize, make sure you still have these social role models. Okay, finding people that are on the same path or have already accomplished what you're aspiring to do is the key. Learn from their habits and work ethic. It's always nice to look up to people that are well known, but to find people that you can communicate on a daily basis will help keeping the momentum alive. Challenge each other to be a better person every day. Okay? Challenge yourself. Challenge yourself. Role models, right? Not only people that they are look up to you, but people that are always going to tell you the truth, even if you don't want to hear it. People that are always going to find you um, challenging. You will feel challenged. Okay, these are things that you can just start today. You don't have to go to a seminar. You don't have to go stuff. You can just go today. The things just change the things that you read. If you go to social media, you read bull crap. But to set it like that, just to make sure that instead of just reading bull crap, spend those time 10 or 30 minutes just reading something that can help you out. Next one, take control of personal responsibility. Yes, take control of personal responsibility. This one is very, very big. Personal responsibility is like the scary boogeyman of humans. They will blame the world before they can pull that they take the trash can out of their house and put it outside. That simple. Take control of your personal responsibility. Be honest with yourself. The first step to be successful and get rid of unhealthy habit or pattern is to hold yourself accountable. What are some things that might be holding yourself back to do that you do have control of? Do not lie to yourself when you're wrong. The ego can be beneficial or your own worst enemy. Learn to let your ego work for you. By acknowledging the ego in you, it will help you to level-headed and all allow yourself to understand the mistakes you have made by working on them. Check your ego. Make sure it's right there. Make sure it's not stopping you to learn new things. Make sure it doesn't stop you from being humble. You don't know it all. You're far beyond from who you can be or who you can be. Check that ego. When things are wrong, things are wrong. When things are right, things are right. When things need improvement, things need improvement. When you lied, you lied. Admit it. When it was your fault, it was your fault. It was not the neighbor's fault. Take personal responsibility. It will make your life so different. I can assure you that. Shout out to my girl, Ksenia. Admitting you're wrong in situations is a great stepping stone to becoming a better person and not allowing yourself to make the same mistake twice. Albert Einstein once said, the definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over again, expecting different results. Take control of your thoughts and action. Okay, this one's very similar to the models, to the role models. Is surround yourself with winners. S- Show me your friends, and I'll show you your future. That's the one of Dan Peña's quotes. Love Dan Peña. I know it's a very old school kind of entrepreneur, very in your face, way, 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 way too honest. But you need that. You need to receive honesty to yourself. The only way you can move towards the best of yourself is when you know you need work. You are who you surround yourself with. If you surround yourself with people who lack motivation, then guess what? You most likely will adopt those traits as well. If you are emotionally unstable, check your influences and environment. You are what you think. If you seek positivity, surround yourself with that type of energy. Surround yourself with winners and you will become one. As simple as that. The next one is accept failure as a rejection. This one's very hard because accepting failure is a hard concept for a lot of people. Accepting failure is not easy. It's a concept that will go against from what you have been told for years. Accept rejection on a daily basis as a new opportunity to grow. Change the view of failure and rejection in order to improve 1% better at a time. Remember, failure is just a lesson in disguise. By remembering failure is just part of the bigger picture. Your shift will focus from a negative view to finding a solution. Talk to new people, attend different events and activities with the notion to accept failure and rejection as part of the game. The more no's you get, the closer to the yeses you will be. Always move forward with confidence towards your goal. Remember when I started working as a salesman in Crosstown, door to door program, there was a low average. You had to knock certain doors to get certain talks to get that yes at the end. So first, basically, I have to just knock between 60 to 85 doors. From those 60 to 85 doors, I will get 30 people to talk to. If from those 30 people talks to, they say no to me, I will get one yes. So I already predetermined failure and rejections as a result to get my yes at the end. But see, I didn't get there like that quick. No, I programmed myself to accept the fact that rejection and failure was part of the process to get that yes. So see how the mindset shift. So instead of having the fear of rejection, I accepted failure as the guidance of the truth to get that sale. I knew it was part of the process. Just I need to just start knocking that first door, and I knew it was going to be fine. Practice honesty. This is the next one. Practice honesty every day. Be honest with your daily practice and conversations. Allow yourself to express whatever is in your mind. There is nothing worse than pretending to be anyone else but yourself. Allow yourself to be inspired by successful people, but remember who you are. Working on yourself every day, practicing gratitude, and being truthful will have you become the best version of yourself. Let people be untrustworthy and do not mix yourself with bad habits. Surround yourself with people who will tell you what you need to hear, not what you want to hear. Practice honesty even when no one's looking. Okay, when no one's looking. This is a great exercise to build character and respect. The best relationships are those who are built in trust. If you want to have honest people in your life, it will all start with you. So start working. Honesty is not only working when you're surrounded people. The best time when honesty, right, is gonna be tested is when you are alone and no one is looking. You see? When no one is looking, that is when the test comes. Because then this is where it's gonna determine if you are very truthful to yourself. So even though you think you already have that part, on place, in place, talking with other people and just making sure that those other people, they see you as an honest person. But inside yourself, you're not that honest, because when you go back home, you do all those things that you make think other people you don't do. So see what's the difference? Honesty start when you are alone and no one's looking. Next one, avoid negative thoughts and conversations. Listen to this one. Allowing yourself to accept and then let it go of negative thinking is hard, but it will bring you so much peace and clarity into your life. I know it's hard, and not everyone in life is positive. I understand. Life is supposed to have ups and downs, so that when the ups to come, you can appreciate them more. Evaluate your way of thinking, your relationships, and ask yourself: Am I surrounding myself with positive people or energy sucking vampires? Happiness is a choice. Deciding to leave negative behind is like breathing, breathing fresh air. You are worthy of living a life filled with positivity. Remember, it starts with you. Surround yourself with negative people is the worst thing you can do to yourself. You will become those that you surround with. If all you're hearing every day is negative conversation, gossips, I know how addicted are gossips, but gossip is it's a slow kill to your soul. You're murdering your soul slowly. Do not gossip. Do not gossip. It will drain your energy because you're spending energy in someone that is not even in front of you. You not become better by bringing people down. It's the opposite. You give them power. Gossip is a killer. I would just recommend. I know this is hard as well. If you are surrounded with family that is very very negative, and I think Les Brown and Tony Brown talk about this. There's people for sports. There's people for family moments. Not everyone is gonna be in your level. You have to understand that. Not everyone is for the self development. Just accept them as is, but then detach yourself from them. It's hard to understand, but in order to become a better person, you have to detach yourself from those negative people. My final thoughts. Here are my 10 ways to improve 1% at a time. Give them a chance and practice every day. Be conscious of your thoughts. Increase your potential by 1% at a time. It's a huge improvement. It's not easy, but it's a great improvement. Think about it. If you increase 1% at a time every day or every month, it's 1% better than yesterday or last year. Include these in your belief system. You have a belief system, include them. Make them your own. Read them. Read and live the 10 ways to improve 1% at a time, and your vision of life will be different. I'll show you that. So these are my 10 ways to improve 1% at a time. I use them myself mostly every day. Okay, it's something I've been just carrying myself in the last years. Is gotten stronger, right? Because I hold, excuse me, myself accountable to it. Right, my goals, my long-term goals, and my short goals in in a board. I have it right there here with me, and it makes me accountable to know that the reason those goals didn't accomplish it because it was my fault. It was nobody's fault. I will start thinking about those time that I spent just wasting time, and I would just say to myself, okay, next time it will not happen like that. Okay, fellas. All right, folks. So this is it. Thank you so much for sharing this podcast with me. These are my 10 ways to improve 1% at a time. Just to let you know, for those musicians, I'm going to be releasing my ebook May the 15th, and regarding to how to get it out, how to get your composition and your music out. I'm going to give 25 copies for free for those first 25 people that sign up to my email list starting on May. So you want to get a hold of it, right? After that, I have to charge for it. But for the first 25 people, starting on May the 1st, they sign up to my email list will get a free copy of it. All right. And also, if you have any questions that you want to know more about self development or about music, any tips, you can just email me to palphamusic at gmail.com or palpha at business at palpha.com or palpha slash underscore podcast.com. And that way I can just help you out. We can get in contact and let's just get the ball rolling of things. Okay. All right, guys. So this is the end of the P Alpha Music Podcast, episode 42. 10 ways. 10 ways to improve yourself 1% at a time. Okay, guys. Have a good night and ciao.